Hello, everybody. Let's talk about AEW Dynasty, where everybody hated it, and I had a great fucking time. I had a great time.
I'm everybody.
Let's talk about it. Actually, except for my TikTok comments, they get it. So let's dive in. What do you want to talk about first?
Let's get to
We'll save the best for last, of course.
So then we're starting off with Will Osprey. So we start off with the 0 hour. Nick Wayne and crew defeat AR Fox and Top Flight. Looks like that they're gonna kind of include Nick Wayne and AR Fox into a feud.
The worst to start, I guess.
Sure. And then they do Anthony Bowen's return against Max Caster, which I thought was super dope.
I love that. I'm surprised they didn't do that on either Dynamite or main roster portion. Like we did that on 0 hour.
Literally, my only gripe is that I wish that was a Dynamite.
I mean, they did it within like the last 10, 15 minutes.
Still.
Of it. So like, I think the assumption was like, well, then it's last because like people will be on at that point. But it's like, that's what we were all waiting for when this whole thing first happened. So I don't know why they didn't put it on like the main thing.
I want the commenters to comment. What's a bigger moment, in your personal opinion? To do something on 0 hour or to do it on a Dynamite or Collision? Because I think, personally, if you do it on like a big moment on Dynamite, it's a bigger moment than
I think Dynamite's bigger than the 0 hour because
so
many people.
I agree.
0 hour is the pre-show and so many people aren't watching.
Yeah.
Depending on how early you do it. Like, they may have gotten lucky with it being at the end, but typically people don't watch at least the full pre-show, but people are going to watch the weekly show.
Yeah,
you know?
I feel like this should have been on Dynamite, but an awesome moment for Anthony Bowens, to say the least.
He's got a new song. He's got new
song.
Gear.
The song was awesome.
A whole new thing.
5-tool player. Max Caster did play into being an automatic heel for the rest of my life with wearing the Ben Simmons jersey in Philly. Yeah. He was booed out the building. Which was good because I did mention that, some people are kind of getting into the Max.
Yeah, can we talk about that for a second? Because where are you seeing that? I haven't seen
just
one
in the
person
crowd.
Like him.
In the crowd. Watch the moment. In the crowd. People are starting to go, what? Max, you're the best. You're number one. Anyways, Anthony Bowen squashes him in 40 seconds, and we get to the first part of
Philly has awful taste.
Absolute pay-per-view. Philly's great. Will Osprey versus Kevin Knight in one of the best matches of the night, if not the best match of the night, because it's William fucking Osprey.
I think it still edges out for best.
I think most people will probably say the triple threat, which we will get into. Yeah. This, for me, maybe you just gotta like the flippy shit. I like the flippy shit. All right. Sometimes it's like, sometimes you really just gotta like steak or something. And it's like, I really like it. So this is all for me. This was absolute damn near perfection for me. Kevin Knight reverses a Styles Clash. He reverses 2 Oscutters, and he reverses a Spanish Fly, right? No, it was a second. It was a second. It was a second fucking Styles Clash that goes into the turn, and goes in for the pin. Kevin Knight looked like $1 million fucking bucks in this match.
It is crazy. I see a lot online every time Kevin Knight does something. People are like, they wanted him to try out for NXT. It's crazy.
I was listening, and somebody put up a good point. They were like, Jordan Grace didn't try out. Ricky Starks didn't try out. Yeah. Because some people were like, well, everybody tries out. It's like, no. Not everybody tries out. And Kevin Knight was at that. And I love Ricky. Ricky is my guy. If you know, you know. But, like, Kevin Knight is at that caliber of, like, I don't think that he really needed to try out.
He's above Ricky.
No, he's not. But Kevin Knight, fucking dope. He will be a part of the pro wrestling freshman list because that guy's fucking awesome. And Will Osprey made him look like $1 million because Will Osprey made him look like $1 billion. He's at the very minimum $1 million. And Will Osprey is Will Osprey. I really loved the sequence of missing all of the moves. So then he has to do them harder and faster and crisper so that he can actually take out Kevin Knight. Once again, when you say, telling stories, you can tell stories in the ring. They told a really, really good story in the ring here. Will Osprey is, in my opinion, the best in-ring wrestler in the world.
Yeah, pretty much. I say that every single time. So works for me. Next match, I was so close.
You were.
I was so close.
You were.
I was just a little off. Hurt Syndicate, Learning Tree losers. I figured MJF would come out and cost them.
Yeah.
To make, prove that, they need him.
Yeah.
He ended up helping them to prove that they need him.
You had the right track.
I was on the right track. We just kind of veered left at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, works for me. I didn't really want to see the tag titles on the Learning Tree, to be honest. So I'm kind of okay with this little twist on my idea. This was a fine match. I will never understand the love for Big Bill. He's just
great.
a large Edge's little brother to me.
Honestly, bro,
He's not great at like anything.
when he goes babyface, I kind of low-key want to see him team up with Edge.
I just nothing
Low-key,
about
you're right.
any of them excites me whatsoever.
I love Big Bill. I love Brian Keith. I do think that this was the right move. Nobody, I think, has set themselves up to be like the great team to face the Hurt Syndicate. I do
Yeah.
believe that the Hurt Syndicate, it's tough. Are they going to be babyface, right? 'Cause I feel like they're babyface right now. But with MJF here, it's weird. But then the two biggest tag teams that we'll get into later are now heels.
Yeah.
So I don't exactly know what's going to happen, where they fit for All In.
I think they're going to be kind of like tweener attitudes, but baby faces.
Yeah, probably.
So
Give me personally, if we're just kind of rolling with some random teams right now, and I know the Murder Machines are hurt, Brian Cage unfortunately hurt his knee. Please call up GYV and just do GYV Hurt Syndicate. That could be a fucking banger, man.
Are they still in Ring of Honor?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay.
Then we get Mercedes versus Julie, which I saw weirdly get a lot of hate on Twitter.
I saw Julia get a lot of hate on Twitter.
So I mentioned it on the podcast. There is a moment about halfway through where you can tell they're both like taking a second, and Julia like couldn't do a move, and they were gassed.
Yeah.
They take a second. And they literally like do a spot, and they're like exhausted, and they sit there, and the crowd goes up. They start to cheer, and I was like, oh, this is a good moment. They look exhausted. They're gonna take a moment.
Yeah.
It's a fucking moment. But people online were like, God damn, they're fucking blown up. Yeah, you can't wrestle 15 minutes. I was like, brother, they were tired for a second. That fucking ending sequence was awesome.
Yeah.
The whole technical going from the crossface into.
They also sometimes those two move really fast.
They do, and they're doing fucking high flying
Yeah.
moves. Give them a second.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, dude! It's a 13-minute match.
They never will.
They took a 25 seconds at most to rest. In a really great match that the fans were really into. I think that this once again proves that the fans fuck with Julia Hart heavy.
Yeah.
They really, really like her.
I think it's annoying because it's like when something like that happens, WWE fans are going to pounce on it. So then it pisses me off even more when AEW fans pounce on it. Because I'm like, this goes back to that whole thing we've talked about so many times of like AEW fans are so fucking spoiled that the second something is like a little off or there's like a small, like they slip on the rope. They like something. The match is 4 stars, not 5. AEW fans, a good portion of them just fucking bitch and whine and complain. And it's just so... I will not have Julia Hart slander. I just won't have it. I will not
She's
have
got
it.
great presentation. She's got the fans behind her. I do really like her as... honestly, I'm kind of cool with her not being a babyface, her being a tweener. I'm really excited to see if she sticks with Sky Blue when Sky Blue comes back, because Fletch said that Sky Blue is like closer than you think to coming back.
I'd like to see Sky go back with her and then her do her own faction.
It would be dope. It would be great.
The Hart faction.
I'd love to see it.
Since now the other two are doing Hounds.
Yeah, it's Hounds of Hell.
Whatever.
I would be cool that they all still like protect the group.
Yeah, I think so, but I think you could do
but they're
like
separate.
You could change it a little bit and make it like House of Hart or something.
Yeah.
And have her have like an all women's faction. I think would be cool.
I think that would be cool. But they all still like stay connected.
Yeah.
Death Riders versus Rated FTR. Your boy got the dub here.
Wheeler Yuta! Back-to-back dubs, okay?
Back-to-back
on
dubs.
Those stupid little bald bitches. I love it. It's what my chipmunk deserves. It's the respect that he deserves, and I love that for him.
I do think that they are slowly doing something with Yuta, bro. That's the second straight win, as you said, against Dax. It feels as though
Dax ain't shit.
Well,
and Wheeler Yuta is on the come up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think he's on the come up. I think that we're about to see Wheeler Yuta getting some big pins on Collision. I think that is going to be the spot where he starts to make a little bit of a name for himself, and
it's gonna be great.
I would low key. I've seen the speculation that at All In, this is all setting up for him to face Bryan Danielson.
Oh, yeah.
For Danielson to come back and face Yuta at All In.
Yeah.
That would be crazy, bro.
That would be crazy, yeah.
If he gets Danielson at All In.
And you think he's going to pin him? Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
You think he pins Danielson?
Yeah, he wins. Yeah, 100%.
So, but the Death Riders end up winning here, and that is where we get what we all believed was going to happen. the rated FTR heel turn. FTR turns heel on Cope, which I believed was so badly needed for FTR.
Can I ask a question?
What's up?
What changes?
Just their attitude. I think that their moveset is typically heel moveset. It's very slow, methodical, brawler. I think that the babyface, just a second, the babyface Dax promo of, you're taking food off you're taking food off the table from my wife and kids, has been done so much that something new, interesting, new material is very, very important for them. What's up?
I now have 2 comments. One, interesting is a strong word. It's a strong word for the bald bitch. All right. It's a really fucking strong word. 2, their attitude changes. Do you know what doesn't change?
Mm-hmm.
How entertaining they are. It's still at fucking 0.
I
if
think
it
that
could be
they're
in the
gonna be entertaining.
negatives, it would be. They are so boring. Inside the ring, outside the ring, backstage, in the locker rooms, talking to Renee, talking by themselves, talking to whoever, at home with their families probably. They're so fucking boring. I just do not give any type of shit. And I want them to, you know what? You love your family so much, go be with them.
I think that they are going to be a lot more entertaining now.
I promise you, come back to this video.
Yeah, let's come back to
in 6 months. I promise you, I will give them so much time. I will give them 6 months. I promise you, my feelings will not change.
I would say if there's not a significant change in the next month and a half, 2 months, then this was all for nothing.
Oh, it's gonna be for nothing.
I need a significant FTR looks badass change. I'm not saying put the titles on them or anything.
No,
but,
I don't think they can look badass. They're too weirdly shaped.
And then we're gonna get FTR versus Cope and Christian. Definitely.
Probably.
This is happening. We are getting, I think all in, it's FTR versus Edge and Christian.
It's always FTR in the tag matches. Just every match that is like big or a main event or going on a big show, it's always FTR. And it's never good. And it's so disgusting. My God, at this point, put the fucking crew boys in there instead. At least I would get something a little flippy, a little exciting. Just gonna sit there with their fucking old ass technical shit no one cares about. Boring as fuck.
Okay.
Bald.
Okay.
It's annoying.
Only one of those things.
Cash got a really circular head, and I just can't. I can't do it.
Then we get to Timeless Toni Storm defeating
And Marissa was right.
You are right.
I was correct. I called it from the beginning. I literally told my team she's not winning. She's not winning.
I was convinced that Megan Bayne was winning up until last week on Dynamite when they unveiled the Owen. And then I went, oh no, it's Jamie. Jamie's winning the Owen and she's facing Toni. Now, I've had plenty of people tell me that Mercedes is winning the Owen.
I would also be
They believe that Mercedes is winning Owen. I have plenty of people telling me Athena is winning the Owen because it's for it's in Texas.
It's about half the options. There's only 8 people.
Right, yeah. No one's telling me like Billy Starks is winning the Owen or Harley's winning the Owen.
I wish.
But I personally believe the best story to tell there is that Jamie ends up winning the Owen.
I hear that.
I do fear.
Might make her interesting.
Not anything against Mercedes. I do fear that they're going to have Mercedes and just do the 2 biggest stars. And the reason why I fear that is because I don't know how many side non-title women's stories they're going to do, unfortunately.
That's fair. I think my only concern a little bit, and you kind of talked about this with like Jamie and Mariah, if they do that, but I wonder if they choose like Mercedes or something for this year's All In because it's not in London. Do they want Jamie Toni for an international show? I don't know if that's like worth it. I think fans would still like it, but I wonder if they want to save that for like an international show. And maybe you just push it back a little bit. Like maybe it's Mariah or Toni Jamie at Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
And then Mariah Jamie, like you said, at All In next year. Like maybe you just kind of push it back a few months.
What I didn't think about until right this second, so I just wrote it down, is that we may be getting, because I keep teasing the Athena Billy thing, if Jamie's not winning the Owen, it's Mercedes that wins the Owen. Athena crashes out. She blames Billy, and it's Athena versus Billy at All In, and that is where Billy Starks wins the title.
Athena's title.
Athena's title, the
Oh,
ROH
okay.
Women's
And then Athena
Championship.
goes to AEW.
Correct.
That could make sense. I see that. Because they've done that like 4 times, right? Where they like turn on each other.
Yeah.
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 Well, every single time Billy has to beat Athena to break out of being her minion.
She loses.
And she loses.
Yeah, okay. That would make sense. I think that would be a cool moment for all, and I think if both Athena and Billy are well known enough to have a spot there.
I think it just makes me really sad because I want to see a dope ass cool heel Jamie Hayter.
I think you'll see it soon, and then hopefully she'll also change her look alongside with that. Oh,
Nothing
right,
wrong
next
with the
was
Scooby-Doo
no,
look,
it's
bro.
so bad.
70s Scooby-Doo
Next,
look. She's
Kyle
cool.
Fletcher defeats Mark Briscoe. This was unneeded, but a banger.
See, here's the thing. Yeah, this absolutely could have been on Dynamite.
Yeah.
With the next match as well. To be honest. But Kyle Fletcher and Mark Briscoe have unreal chemistry. They're so good in the ring together.
And it's a weird, unexpected match.
It's so random.
Yeah.
It's like it's not styles that typically like mesh.
Yeah.
And it's also like completely different generations.
Yeah.
It honestly makes me a little sad that we didn't get United Empire versus the Briscoes as a tag match back in the day. Maybe that is just something. Maybe just tag wrestlers that were in tag teams are really good against each other. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
I don't know. Kyle Fletcher is the future of professional wrestling. That guy I would belt up rather quickly. Actually, that's the thing that we need. In 2025, I think that we have to leave the year with Kyle Fletcher as champion. As a champion.
I think there's
for
a
sure.
good chance.
International, continental, fucking TNT, something. Kyle Fletcher needs a title.
I think he will at some point this year.
Honestly, I could see this is the year that they say, fuck it. Let's give him the C2.
That would work
He
too.
wins the C2, I think would be dope. Actually, if he wins the C2, I know that we've run Osprey, Fletcher a lot, but if Osprey ends up winning the world title, Fletch wins the C2, gets the number 1 contender shot. If they end up unifying, I'd be cool with that.
That's fair.
Fletch is dope, though. Fletch gets the win. Then we get to Bandido versus Jericho, which is a controversial match, and now looking at it, I can't believe it went 18 minutes.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
So Jericho uses the bat
Mm-hmm.
to hit Bandido while the ref is distracted, and pins Bandido. And then
his family
argues that Jericho used the bat.
So it
Bandido's
should be reversed or something.
So it should,
or
so
like
the
restart
the match. Aubrey just believes them and then goes, "Show me where the bat is."
Right.
So they show her where the bat is, and then they restart the match. Bandido ends up winning. Really cool moment for Bandido.
I think it is a cool moment for Bandido. I think it was cool that they got his family involved, cutesy little moment. But there's also like 12 problems with this.
Yeah.
Like 1, that never happens.
Exactly.
2,
That's the
even if that happens, it's like ref's decision or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's already too late. You don't change anything. You definitely don't then restart the match. It's just a whole lot of issues that just like normally don't occur respectfully just to like get them involved.
Yeah.
Feels like a lot. I mean, I'm sure it was cool for them, and I think it was like a cutesy moment. But I think if you were gonna do all that, like if you're gonna do all the fuckery, maybe keep that for like a Ring of Honor pay per view.
I think that
or like
Ring of Honor.
I don't think it was needed on an AEW pay per view when it's the Ring of Honor title and you're doing all this extra shit and it's already a 10-match card. It was just didn't. This wasn't needed.
I also saw somebody else put up a good point that said, so if you're putting Ring of Honor people like the Ring of Honor champion Chris Jericho. Why is Athena not on this card?
Right. Well, it's because it's Jericho.
Exactly. 100%. You know the actual reason. 100%.
Jericho is his new CM Punk.
Oh yeah.
This is what I have been saying. My only gripe on Tony Khan is that he has a hard time seemingly saying no to veteran wrestlers.
Yeah.
He did it with CM Punk. We all saw how that went out. Luckily, Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley aren't fucking psychopaths, so we don't have that problem there. But Chris Jericho, that bitch is psychopath. And we're struggling to, like, if you're going to be a Ring of Honor champion, go on Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Don't bring that shit to Dynamite because you want to have a title and be on Dynamite. Like, you don't deserve an AEW title. So don't just go fucking steal one from Ring of Honor and then bring it over here and still have your face in front of our TVs.
Yeah.
Like, just really annoying. I would really love now if Jericho just takes a break, go away for a little bit, go home, chill, maybe find something remotely interesting to make yourself into and come back later. I don't really know. Give up the whole learning tree thing. I don't give a fuck. But either way, he needs to go for a little bit, and I need Tony Khan to let him do that. You need to just let him go.
There were points where I liked the learning tree. I think that Jericho was getting into his bag a little bit. And I think that the big thing was that like Jericho was too prominently on Dynamite. Like the learning tree was too much of Dynamite,
like
and
2
now
or
it's
3 segments a night.
now it's very, very minimal.
Yeah.
Which has made it kind of digestible. This was also title versus mask match. So luckily Bandido did not lose his mask because something that I brought up was his character he's a bandit. Bandits wear masks. You gonna be a bandit without a mask?
Yes.
It felt stupid.
If Jericho could. Yes.
But luckily, Bandido won. He got to celebrate with his family and Gravity, who is his brother.
Yeah.
That was really, really cool.
Someone also said they wonder if the shitty finish, fucked up, whatever, was because Jericho didn't want to lose clean or lose simple.
Quite literally the first thing I thought. I didn't say it on the pod, but it was my first thought when they did the reverse was I was like, oh, so it's like Jericho being like, I won, but I lost.
I didn't think about it at first because I was so glad that they switched it. I was just so happy because I was like, there's fucking no way, Tony Khan, that you just had Jericho win, that I didn't even think that far into it.
It gives me Hogan type vibes. Back when Hogan, if he ever lost, it had to be some kind of other thing that happened for him to lose.
That's not totally his fault.
He couldn't just lose, you know?
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, somebody did just straight up lose in the TNT Championship match with Adam Cole and Daniel Garcia. If you know me, you know I love me some Daniel Garcia. Bad bitches for Daniel Garcia. There was no time limit. There was no interference. And there was no way that Garcia was walking out with the title, unfortunately. And he did not. Adam Cole hits him with, I think, 3 Panama Sunrises. Hits him with the unprotected knee, ends up pinning Garcia, shakes hands afterwards. Obviously Garcia could have never kept the title forever, even though it would have been cool. I really wish that we would have gotten
a better title
reign.
It was a rough title reign. I also am kind of wondering, what was the thought process here?
Mm-hmm.
One, just throughout Garcia's title reign, but also Garcia could be better. If you give him something,
oh my god,
he could be a lot more entertaining. Dare I say, don't come for my neck. Adam Cole ain't gonna get that much more exciting. You have him stuck in that fucking nasty ass shit with Roddy Strong and fucking what's his name, Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah,
it's just I guess my thing is I don't see Adam Cole elevating this title or making it any different. Whereas I think you could have had Garcia defending that on Dynamite.
Yeah, you're right.
You could have Garcia had the opportunity and has the ability to elevate that title, make it exciting, make it important. Try to get close to what Jack Perry could do, and now we're going with Adam Cole. It's just I just gave Garcia so many compliments. Okay, leave it alone.
What I think that they're gonna do,
I think it's going downhill.
Look, this is if one in chat if this moves you, 2 if it doesn't. What I think that they're going to do is they're probably going to have O'Reilly and Strong want that title. And it's going to be the breakup of Undisputed Kingdom again. And it's going to be all 3 triple threat all in.
You know how awful that is?
That's just
you know how I already don't care?
I'm not even defending it. I'm just going, this is, in my personal opinion, this is what they're doing. Take that if you like that. If not, I get it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
For Garcia, because this is the only spot that I really care about.
So also, what's next for him?
For Garcia, it's got to be, I hope, it's got to be Private Party. Private Party and him team up. And I would really like for the story to be that Garcia and Private Party took their eye off the ball once they got gold. Once they got what they wanted, they went, oh shit, I forgot about the major, I forgot about the responsibility that I was holding as champion to protect this company. I was too worried about defending my title. I got too obsessed with the championship. And that could be a good story to tell as they go against the Death Riders again. But I don't know then what you do with the Ops. Because the Ops kind of feel like they're in that role.
A tiny question. What? With all due respect.
Yeah.
To your boys here, Do you think that you could logically make the claim that they were too obsessed with the title when they did nothing with those titles?
So this is where I will say that
I think they should just say that they got split up and
we're
they've come back together.
we're gonna get into the main event in just a second, right?
Yeah.
Where I will say that there's pieces of these stories, and all of this is connected to Death Rider's story. But this is where it proves that Tony Khan was not booking with details. He was not booking to have a bigger picture for all of this, because he genuinely gave Private Party nothing.
Yeah.
He celebrated after 2.5, 3 months their title win.
Yeah.
They had the titles for 3 months. And then he went, let's celebrate the fact that they won the titles 3 months ago, because we haven't done anything with them yet.
Yeah.
Because he didn't know.
Yeah.
He integrated them as part of the story. He gave them the titles, and he didn't know what to do next.
Yeah.
He was not booking long term. I will not hear anything different. And the same thing happened to Daniel Garcia, unfortunately.
Yeah. They got lost.
He put them in those roles and never gave a fuck about actually developing them. And that's where I think that the story of the Death Riders has been lost. It was an idea. It was an idea that was obvious leading up to or after Wrestle Dream. It was obvious when Mox lays it out, but after that, we completely lost the plot.
moment Cope and FTR got involved.
No, it was before that. It was. I am saying it's about a month in. It's about when they put the titles on Private Party. They lost the plot of the story.
Maybe, I don't know.
We get to the triple threat right before the main event, which the triple threat is most people, from what I see, most people's match of the night.
It was a really good match.
Great match, and honestly, I was talking about this during the pod. Triple threats don't really happen all that much in AEW, and there's not too many memorable ones. I could think of Osprey versus Ricochet versus Takeshita, and then Moxley versus Jay White versus Swerve in the C2 semifinals. But that was about it. So this has a real argument to be AEW's best triple threat of all time.
Yeah.
Omega ends up beating Ricochet and Speedball in a really fun match where I think that sometimes it's really hard to, as you were saying on the pod, really hard to showcase all three wrestlers kind of equally.
Yeah.
And you always feel like
always
somebody's
one that's
left out.
Less talented or something than the other one.
Or just like somebody's left out of the match more so than, others. But I don't really feel that way. I feel like they all really got their moments to shine. Speedball was incredible in this. Once again, like there was people in chat being like, they need to belt up Speedball immediately. He is awesome. Ricochet played such a good dastardly dickhead heel. Also rocking the One Piece Admiral jacket made me pissed off. And Kenny Omega is Kenny Omega. And I really like the ending sequence of Kenny kind of just overpowering them with the Snapdragon suplexes. Ends up hitting an avalanche one-winged angel on Ricochet while Speedball's knee is tied up in the turnbuckle, the knee that had been worked on the entire match. It was really, really good storytelling. Kenny Omega with the dub, and then Okada comes out at the end. I loved this match. I thought it was great. I still personally think I prefer Osprey Kevin Knight, but outside of that, this is probably the second best match of the night for me.
I think I'm open to them unifying the titles and doing Omega Okada, which is what seems like they're gonna do next. I was kind of hoping they were gonna do Omega Speedball, just like one-on-one feud, which I guess I'm sure they'll do at some point in existence. But we haven't seen Okada in like a month, so at least he's back.
Yeah,
I guess. And he took a cute little selfie with the Young Bucks last night.
Did he?
Yeah, and he was like, "My friends are back," and it was funny. He's cute.
That annoys me even more.
Oh.
Because we get to the main event, Jon Moxley versus Swerve Strickland, where they just needed to put the fucking title on Swerve.
No!
The fucking Young Bucks!
No, I don't want the title on Swerve right now.
Oh my god.
No. I actually feel very validated by the amount of people I'm now seeing who actually liked it last night. I'm seeing a lot more people come out, and that makes me very happy. I did not want Swerve to get the title. I thought that was way too quick for Swerve to just get involved and just win one-on-one with Mox immediately and get the title. I do not like that. I have hope that this story will go on longer and finish out properly with Darby Allin winning the title after All In. It's going to be great. I think the Young Bucks coming back is fine. I've seen people like starting to theorize why the Young Bucks were there and what like their connection is to the Death Riders. I've heard everything. I don't know what the reason's going to be. I've heard people say they're behind sending Mox in there. I've heard people say it wasn't even about Mox. It was getting payback on Swerve because they beat Team Elite in whatever that, what was the blood? Was it Blood and Guts? It was like payback on Swerve for that loss that they took last year. Because they've been gone like 6 months, so that wasn't like too long ago. For them, if you think about when they were last here. So I've heard everything. I am very happy with this. I like this. I would like the story to continue. I'm just glad Rated FTR is out of there. I don't think it was Swerve's time.
This to me tells me that they didn't have an idea of what to do for this entire storyline for probably about World's End. Because World's End, it didn't make all that much sense to do the Fatal 4-Way, and I was like, oh, well, they're trying to add in. Actually, it's probably no. I know the time where they completely lost the plot was Full Gear. It was Full Gear. It was Mox versus Orange, and they didn't kill Orange. And then they go, Orange had to drink bleach. Orange is back in 2 weeks. And then he's going into the Fatal 4-Way. Why is Jay White in this?
They definitely lost the plot around that time because I think they spent way too much time with Orange. Orange respectfully should have been kicked out of that story way before he was.
The Young Bucks doesn't make sense to this storyline because the Young Bucks were the fake people that ran this company, and that when they actually saw real people that ran this company, they couldn't handle that. They got out of there. They left Okada behind and gave literally no direction for Okada. Like Okada just was like, and then I defend my title twice and I take vacation. Like he did nothing.
Yeah.
Obviously the private party situation shows that they didn't have a plan. And now we gotta wait till past All In now because Darby Allin wants to climb a fucking mountain.
Yes.
When you could have just given it to Swerve and then done Swerve versus Hangman in the best story or the second best story that AEW's ever told.
I don't want to see Swerve Hangman again. We literally did it 5 seconds ago. We literally just did it, and they haven't separated them since then. They have not, like, we have been doing Swerve Hangman constantly for the last, like, year.
What was their last match? All Out?
But they're not separated. Yes, their last match was whatever the last one was.
Yeah, but it's like Sammy and KO.
But they're still, like, right. But that's Sammy and KO are not yet again main eventing what would be their WrestleMania again. We're not doing that again. It's way too much.
I'd so much prefer that for this year's WrestleMania.
I know you. Well, for this year's Mania,
I'd so much prefer that.
That's fair for this year's Mania. There's nothing. I did not want Swerve to win the title. I do not think he should be the one to win it off Mox. I think that would have been way too quick for Swerve to enter this feud and just automatically win on the first try. And then I don't want to see Swerve Hangman right now. We have been doing that for so long. I need a break. I do not want to see them just, it's just like every single time something happens, we just go back to Swerve and Hangman. It's like, let's do something else.
I'll give you a question. We took some time off and then came back to it. Mariah Toni. Did you think that story made sense in the end? Do you think the Hollywood ending made sense?
Yeah.
Even though we had that, we left it, took some time off, came back to it, and then Toni won. I think the same thing happens with Swerve and Hangman.
I don't think it's the same thing.
I think that's pretty similar.
I don't think it's the same thing because it's not. It's like you're taking Toni and Mariah were their own feud without like other people and possibilities involved. This story has other people that can be involved, and you're basically just taking a really great feud, a legendary feud, but you're just taking that and then taking over the story and the title that could be its own, and it doesn't need to be, you don't need to create this and make it be also Swerve Hangman. Mariah and Toni didn't take over something else take over.
Well, there was other contenders. You know, it was the Anna Jays.
That's not a couple feuds, like a really short feuds. With
But
like
that's
gonna
be the problem for the Death Riders now. Is it's because Darby's not gone for the next 2 months. Darby is going to come back and just win. Like at some point, Darby's just coming back and win because he's not setting up unless we're doing World's End. Darby is not coming back and then, or like there's not this long-term feud for Darby and Mox. Darby's just going to be gone for 12 years and then come back and then he's just going to win the title.
He may or may not win it the first try. There's also people talking about them doing a blood and guts before Darby wins.
That's fine, but that's not Darby versus Mox, you know what I mean?
It's gonna be like the team AEW or whatever that like tried to take out the Death Riders, finally winning against the Death Riders and like taking them out, and then Darby takes the title from Mox.
Is Blood and Guts before All In?
What? No, it would be after All In. He's not beating him at All In.
Oh, so that's
Darby's returning.
So Darby returns at All In. They do Blood and Guts, and then Darby probably beats him at Wrestle Dream, which is a year from when Mox beat Danielson.
Yeah. Something like that, I guess.
I think just to get there, you have to go through more shitty storylines and more shitty feuds to get there. So it's like, hey, guys, in the end, the story's going to make sense in the end. It's just bad in the middle. And it's like, that's not what I want. It has to be
bad in the middle.
It's been bad in the middle.
I don't think it, I mean, I guess
it's been terrible.
I guess that's just an opinion.
Rated FTR was bad.
That was the only part that was bad.
Him not killing Orange was bad. Like, going back and then Orange just comes back randomly was bad. Integrating Jay White into this was bad. The only thing that made sense from the beginning was the fact that Hangman was trying to change himself, and the Hangman Swerve thing is the only through line that made any fucking semblance of sense into this story. And then you had Garcia and Private Party in there, and then you fucking ruined that too. Like, this story has been bad from the middle. Like, it's not good. And then you have to go through 2 more months because Darby Allin wants to fucking climb a mountain.
Yes.
That's not good television. I love this
fine.
fucking company. I think it's amazing. That's what the only thing that I think that can truly help this is that we're redoing the Swerve story basically with Hangman, and Hangman's winning the Owen, and he's there to save AEW, and he wins it. That's probably not happening because it is probably going to Darby. So what we're probably seeing is Jon Moxley versus Will Osprey at All In. Because Osprey wants the ball, which is just the story of everybody in fucking wrestling wants to be the champion. And then Osprey loses. I guess that there is a decent through line. The fact that Osprey loses at All In, then he could win the title at All In. It won't be against Jon Moxley. It's not this, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes through line. But like Osprey fails at this All In and then achieves it at the next one. Maybe. But Jesus fucking Christ. Like sometimes the payoff isn't worth it. And I think that Darby's going to come back and the fans aren't going to be happy because the payoff isn't worth it. Because they got to sit through 6 months of bad storytelling because there wasn't a massive plot line made and a detailed plot line made. And then they saved this all for Darby Allin, who's been off for God knows how long. He's been off since December? And he's coming back in June? And he's going to win the title in October? So 8 months for we wasted 8 months for Darby Allin to become champion. Yeah, I think the fans are going to fucking turn on him.
Go ahead. I'm still going to have a great time. I think I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think it's all going to be fine. I think there's a really good chance that the stories and the matches are entertaining between now and then. I think it's all going to be fine.
I think history would show that the stories haven't been entertaining, and that's
Rated FTR sucked. Orange should have been out sooner, but outside of that, I don't think anything is like tanking. I think AEW is going to be fine.
Obviously AEW is going to be fine, but it's like this doesn't elevate the company. This isn't the story that I think that at the end, people are going, "Hey man, watch this Darby Allin resurrection storyline of him going to the top."
Well, then
because he was gone for it, and everyone else is telling the story of Darby Allin while Darby Allin isn't there.
I think we'll see what happens. And I think it's going to be fine. He's struggling.
This sucked.
I think it's going to be great in the end.
I hope that they just do Hangman.
I pray
hope
they
Hangman's
don't.
the
I
champion.
pray they don't, because that's so boring.
If they're doing Hangman Swerve versus the Young Bucks at All In, people are gonna be fucking livid.
People are gonna be living no matter what they do, because all that wrestling fans do is bitch. So I don't care. I am just having a good time. I'm enjoying my story that I think is gonna be really good, and that's all I care about. I can't keep up with how many things wrestling fans hate.
I just wish that they could tell a good story in the middle.
I think they will, and I think it'll be fine. I think the Swerve Hangman piece of this was a good story. It's just because Swerve didn't win, that ruins the whole thing.
No, that's your exact point. The good part of this story, how long Swerve been going on?
No, but I said,
it's been a month.
Okay, but I said rated FTR was bad, and Owen should have died sooner or been taken out sooner. But outside of that, I think the beginning of this was good, and I think now that they got rid of rated FTR from the story, I think we're back on track, and we're gonna have good story going from now to All In, or if Darby comes back and all that stuff. I think it's gonna be fine. I think it's gonna be great. It's gonna be they can do good stories. They just have to set it up right and keep FTR the fuck out of there.
They can't. I think that you're blaming FTR for something that they fucked up before FTR. They fucked up at Full Gear. FTR wasn't involved at Full Gear. They fucked this up in fucking November when they did this shit in October.
What did they fuck up in November?
Like not doing the Orange shit. They lost the plot with Orange.
I know, but I just
they made
said
these
that
guys
they should have
not
gotten rid
actual
of Orange
killers
earlier.
But that's what I'm saying. They fucked this since November, and then what? Private Party won around November, and then Garcia won in what? All Out or whatever the fuck. Like they have lost the plot.
Yes, and
from
now
the very beginning.
But now it was not at the beginning.
Oh, not at the very beginning. It's been about a month.
Back on track. I think it's gonna be fine. It's back on track. It's going well. People are just pissed off Swerve won. Kiss my ass. I don't know.
No, that's such a disingenuous summary of why fans are upset. The fans are upset.
I'm not saying that's a summary of why they're upset. I'm saying that's part of why they're upset.
Sure, people wanted Swerve to win, but there was a reason why people wanted Swerve to win. It wasn't just like, oh, dope-ass wrestler Swerve, that's why I want Swerve to win. It was because this was going to be the thing that salvaged a really, really bad storyline that was taking up the forefront of the show.
I don't think it was going to salvage it. I think it was going to make it worse.
Then you could have Swerve and Hangman. This is the best or second best story, whether you want to put that with Mariah and Toni, that AEW's been telling, and we can finally have the payoff that we wanted last year from it, even though I'm not upset about Danielson and Swerve because that was awesome. But this is the final of this feud, and instead now we're having them team against the Young Bucks probably, and that just is not, that doesn't move fans. That's not this incredible ending. And then we're still going to be waiting for Mox versus Darby for whenever Darby shows up.
At Owen.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Sure.
I think it's going to be fine.
I'm not fine.
You're not fine.
I'm not fine.
But I think it will be fine. Fraxium is fine.
I'm less fine than Fraxium.
Well, I'm excited about it. I've seen a lot more people come out and be happy about it. I think it's becoming a little more even. I think it'll be fine. I think it's going to be great. I'm trusting the process.
I spent 10 years fucking trusting the process with the Philadelphia 76ers. All right, everybody's injured on the Philadelphia 76ers.
The Philadelphia 76ers did not have Wheeler Yuta. Okay? It's going to be great.
He's a Sixers fan.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. They didn't have Jack Perry either.
So
it's going to be great.
Jack Perry doesn't know basketball.
I give them an A+. Pay-per-view A+.
I gave this pay-per-view, I give it like a...
I'm going to say 9 out of 10 because I do not ever want to see Jericho. And
I'm going to say like a 7.
That's fair.
Jericho wasn't needed. As much as I love Fletcher and Mark Briscoe, wasn't needed. A deflating ending.
Yeah.
AEW is a mixed bag right now. And that is, to say the least.
I have a full, very positive bag on my end.
Mine's mixed.
Well, let us know what you guys think.
Yeah.
I think this is probably one of our biggest disagreements. We are full 180 on that one. So let us know what you guys think. Let us know if you loved it, if you hated it, if you are on Team Wheeler Yuta with me. Let me know. And if you're on the Patreon and you're on Team Mox, you go up a tier. I can't control. I don't make the rules. That just is what it is. So let us know what you think. And thank you for watching.
Deuces.
Bye.